Yo, what is going on? Hi, TF Mob. It is your boy Booba back with another video. And I just wanted to let you guys know that yes, this video is late. It's going up on a Saturday. Normally it goes up on a Friday, but I figured I was trading up until about like 4 yesterday. Um, I wanted to do the video earlier in the day, but I wasn't done with the trading day just because of how the week did go. And this week was a losing week for me for sure. I was already down 4% going into this week, and now I'm down another 2%. It's not that I didn't see profits at all this week. As you can see, these were the moves that I took throughout the week. So I did see profits. I just it wasn't enough for me to close them out. So what I should have did was, of course, break even all of them. But I actually ended up not doing that because I figured that these moves that were playing out were going to be the full swing moves at the time. So again, like I always try to follow my weekly candle of the week and, flow with that direction. So if I see this weekly candle is trying to go up, I'm going to try to see moves on the buy side so that I'm sticking with the trend. So the whole time I was looking for buys early in the week. This initial buy could have been a winning trade. I actually hesitated and didn't take it because it looked like it was struggling to break through this level at the time. But once it broke out of my liquidity zone here, that would have been a good time to then start looking into that setup for a buy. So again, you use those high frames to kind of show you candles that are wicking like that, showing you the direction it wants to go. And then next thing you know, you look for that break of structure and then that retest to get in. So the liquidity zones, they're great for helping me find moves, but I just didn't react properly. So again, on this channel, I do love to show transparency because despite me not having a good trade week for my test, you can see here, this is why I advocate for doing the math when you trade, because one trade, if I take one trade, will recover $3,000, right? So in 2 winning trades, I'd be right back to where I started. It would take 6%. The maximum I have to lose is 12%. So I had to take a bunch of losses before failing. But the key thing that I want people to take away from what's going on in this situation is this here. Look at the start date and the end date, and the date is today. This is a lot of time. This is a lot of time before the test is actually due. So I am in absolutely no rush. I just want to wait for the best opportunities possible. And that's kind of what happened here on Friday. So to kick it off with AU, we're just going to start from top down and work out the frames here. We had the monthly candle that we're still in. To me, this still overall looked like a selling candle. So I figured that whatever's going down on the weekly and daily should be playing into a sell. So this week starts off buying up, and this is where, actually, no, this week started off going down first. So it started off with that sell. So in my mind, I'm thinking we're going to complete the pattern. But then it rejected near this low and then came back up to retest this high. So that was what actually threw me for the loop on AU, because I was in those cells. Even from here, I was in the cells. I got out like midday, and then price pulled back up because you can see this was kind of these were the 2 positions I was dealing with trying to sell, and then they started buying back. I had another sell up here. It goes down in my favor. I believe it closed out around break even. And then price rejects and comes back. So this last bit of selling that you're seeing, excuse me, I just got up, excuse me. But yeah, this last bit of sell that you're seeing right here, this was my last move I took for the week. So I took this when price looked like so. Price goes down, comes back, and at this point when it came back, I was just like, I'm good on it. I'm good on it. So I closed out for the week because again, price was just kind of fluctuating a lot, rather than making one solid move down. And of course, I could have made money simply by following that 15-minute trail stop rule, but me being me, I usually leave my trades alone. So what I preferably do is place my stops at break even and then let them trail to where they're trying to get to. And then I just read the price action on the way down. So if I took the sell here, I'm waiting for this low to break. If it comes back up, I want it to retest, and I'm watching for that. Price rejects, closes, and in your mind, you would think this is going to go lower because that is a bearish engulfing, which is valid. But when it rejects here, that's when you know something's off, and it's probably going to start ranging. So that's kind of what started happening here. And in a way, it started looking like it was trying to set up for a buy. So it just looked like a big pattern here. So this is going to be a whole channel down to this swing low level here, which again, if we get the breakout retest to the top, we could expect it to rise, and a breakout retest to the bottom, you can expect it to drop there. Just waiting for confirmation. So this week was like very just both ways, just a lot of both ways. So you could just see here for the beginning of the week, price drops, creates a swing low. At this point, I was actually looking for sells down. The price stopped. These little boxes, by the way, if you see the red is on one side or the other. So if it's to the downside, it just means I was in a buy. So like right here, this red is on the upside because I can stretch. See? So I just scrunched all the profit that I was going for just so you can see the zone that I got stopped out at. So these were moves that I got stopped out. I tried to sell down here. So price, let's see, maybe I shouldn't do this. Like I'll probably just leave it like this to keep it safe. It just gets in the way when I trade throughout the week. But and also let me take this off. But yeah, so basically I try to sell here because the momentum coming down. Again, that's generally not the best idea. But at the time, what I was seeing was the daily was looking like it was trying to fully engulf to drop, but that wasn't the case. It threw the wick, and then the 4-hour brokerage structure. Once the 4-hour brokerage structure started pulling back up, and you can see here, this was the rejection candle on the 4-hour. You go to the 1 hour in detail, you'll probably see a higher low, higher high right here. So you had this high that was broken out of, price came back and tested it, confirmed here for the buy. So it trails up, comes back to this previous high. And once it broke out of here, right, it was actually around here that I bought this because it looked like it was just going to start buying into the trend at the beginning of the week. And then that was not the case. Comes back and sells, wipes it out. And then price is still going sideways, just ranging. So towards the end of the week, of course, my eyes are still set on the buy because likewise with AU, they had a similar candle look with the daily. But you can see now their current points, their current positions they're trying to reject. So this seems like it's mainly the bigger frame wanting to consolidate, and it's probably just trying to set up something for the next month. Because again, this month is literally almost done. We've got 5 days left. Well, granted, Sunday is really what counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 days until next month. Just crazy. My birthday is July 8th, so that's wild. Hold on, let's see. Yep. My birthday's on a Friday. That's lit. Okay. But yeah, so basically, yeah, these seem like they're just really dying out for the month, and we're gonna get some new movement going into next month. And this as well, like AJ, a lot of these I was expecting to kind of be on the buy side. And they bought at one point, but when it spiked, this is honestly the grab I should have had of the week. This I took from like 9 o'clock to about, I want to say 4 o'clock, right before the Asia session opened. I should have closed it before it even opened because the new day is what caused that break. See, the new day opened up, and then that was where it completely wiped everything. So me just knowing already the new daily candle is going to open up should have just been the dead giveaway. Just take your whatever profit you have in this candle and then wait for the next one to do what it needs to do. Had I done that, I probably could have actually caught this situation both ways, knowing that the dip was going to be a valid sell because of course the daily starts with the fake move generally if it's going to continue the trend. So start off with the quote unquote fake move, but then by the end of the day, it was already kind of in a sell pattern. So going into the following day, this is where we kind of seen that retest opportunity. to get into the next daily candle on the way down. And this was happening around like Asia session. So I could have caught this overnight, but it's totally okay. As you can see, I look for the buy down here thinking we're going to get a retest and a bounce. So in my head, I'm thinking off this daily candle, there was just going to be a wick near this low that would respect and then would kind of build up and continue. So that was my outlook there with the high frames. But of course, market goes both ways, and you never want to have a real firm bias, because what ends up happening is stuff like this, where you're firmly betting on one side, which causes you to kind of lose for the week because you're not being fluid. Fluidity is key when trading. You want to be able to just be like, okay, forget whatever I was looking at. Let's start looking at this as a potentiality. And once you start playing like that, you'll see results faster because you're not worried about being right again. So in this case, I got caught in that trap of just being too firm on one bias, and rather than seeing it for what it was, because it was very blatant at this point. I'm not gonna lie. I even did want to press sell when I seen this low high get formed with the 4 hour with this high test candle. So I was like, oof. I was like, my swing low is down here. This does look like it could at least come to the swing low. Sure enough, it wipes it out. So then after it wipes it out, breaks out, comes back, it looks like it's retesting here. And this is where I'm looking at getting. But by that time, it's too late. And then you have a situation where price was trying to trail back up with the new daily candle. So in my mind, the reason why I even got into this was because the whole pattern was starting to kind of reveal itself, looking like an M pattern. But just keep in mind, we're still in these bigger candles where, of course, the weekly may look like it's wanting to still sell, but the monthly itself is still in a situation of we're in an up candle. But again, it's a monthly, so it moves really slow. It takes days, it takes weeks actually before the monthly really gets movement. So with that, I should have known, just chill out on that bias and wait for probably next month for that buy. We'll probably get some really, really strong buys next month. So I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. GJ and AJ were kind of in the same exact boat, literally like near identical. So at the time I was buying AJ, I was buying GJ as well, and I was also scaling in on GJ. But granted, with the scale ins here in this situation, this was the actual buy I caught. So this was in profit with AJ. And then this was also another buy I caught. This was in profit with those other two. So at that point, my account was back up to like $100,400. And I should have just closed again and just went into the new day with a clean slate, because then I would have had just a cleared mindset and just had a fresher approach going into that session. So it's okay, because again, with time you make your tweaks and things become more fluid. But just even the same setup happened on this frame. So it was at this point that I seen this happening on both that I knew this is a good sell potential. Just didn't take it and got in too late. So here I was looking for the buys towards the end of the week here. I didn't even mess with AJ at that point. And UJ, here we have UJ with the same situation where it bought up with them and then also came back down and sold off. And then this looks like it's kind of respecting, but I was in my mind, I'm like, I'm still going to kind of keep that sell bias probably for next week, just because of how this daily candle looks. And then we'll just see how it plays going towards the swing low here. So I think that's going to wrap it up for the review. There was one other thing that I did want to show you guys or tell you guys about. 1 second. I'm just getting it on. I'm sharing on here, but yeah. So this next week, what I'm going to incorporate, I'm going to show you guys something new so that my analysis come out a little bit more accurate. I'm going to break down the currency indexes from now on, because what this helps me do with the currency index is determine the strength of one individual quote. So generally you have your base pair and then you have your quote pair. And your base pair is usually the first pair. So Australian US dollar would be the base pair. US dollar is your quote pair. Okay. And what you would do with the currency index is determine the strength of one individual currency to understand whether it's going to get stronger or weaker within a certain frame of time. So if we know that the US dollar is going to get stronger on AUD USD, we know this is going to sell. If we know the US dollar is going to get weaker, it's like a teeter-totter. We know AU is going to buy or has a higher chance of buying. There is also an Australian index for itself as well. So these I also might break down in the same fashion that I do with my other my other pairs, my main pairs. So that way we can get more confidence on the trades, and then we'll just see how my results go from there. But again, it's not about being right every week, and we will have losing weeks. That's just the reality of trading. So the thing is, just as quick as you can lose money is as quick as you can make it back. And that's why it's so important that you're very diligent about how much you're allowing yourself to lose, because you don't really lose in trading until you lose the entire account. That's until you blow your account. That's when you really lose. You can have 10 bucks in the account and make it flip. On the bright side of this week, I was trading my live account for the $250 that I had in the account. And I did actually put on about $400 onto that account, but then ended up like getting chipped away at by the end of the week. But I was able to withdraw $100 just to use for myself. So I withdrew something before it became back to base one, because this week again was just really choppy for trading. But next week we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back stronger, more focal, and I'm gonna really try to dial in on these points of interest so that you guys can see more key levels that I'll be kind of looking at throughout the week, because I haven't been as on point with the institutional blocks in the past couple of weeks. I just kind of been going with the flow, the swing. And again, it's summertime. So most times, summer times and swinging is not always the best case scenario. So trailing with stops is very crucial during this time, because something is always better than nothing. But the other thing I wanted to show you guys was this here. I actually just got my I just got an external hard drive, or internal hard drive, not an external hard drive, an internal hard drive that goes into the PS5 that lets me download a shit ton of games, because it's a 2 terabyte hard drive. So basically what I wanted to show you guys here was I'm going to start streaming a bunch more different games on my channel. Funny enough, they just invited me. I'll stream this right now if y'all want to come through and watch it. To stream some Apex for sure. But yeah, basically what I'm going to be doing is streaming on Twitch now, because the storage is there. I can download anything that I pretty much want at this point. And I can at least make space knowing that I'm not going to play every single game that I have downloaded if it ever fills up. So this is the storage space I have, is 2 terabytes. This is the SSD storage. And mind you, the PS5 already comes with 1 terabyte. So the fact that this filled up that fast just says a lot about how quick the storage fills up. So I did used to have a 500 gig expandable storage, and I actually ended up taking that off because I wanted to really use that for my laptop and just like move all my like academy content onto the external hard drive there. So now that this is all set, just best believe you're going to see more stuff get posted to my gaming channels and whatnot. And if you guys want to come tune in, my link for my gaming stuff is always in the description. So feel free to click on that and check it out. But otherwise, that's going to wrap up the video. We'll be back tomorrow. It's going to be Sunday. Again, I was trying to get this video up yesterday, but I just got super, super tired. I actually went to bed at like 10. So I was really gassed out, and I just went to bed early. Just got the day over with. But yeah, we're going to have a good week. Again, I always keep my head up whenever I trade, because it's never like I let the losses affect my emotions anymore. I know a lot of new traders will be like, oh, I lost money, yada, yada. But do your math. You'll be good. You'll survive. You'll come back and you'll have a better week. So again, we got till the 15th of July. So I'm just going to pace myself right, take it day by day, and we'll see how things move. But again, thank you guys for coming through and watching. If you guys definitely enjoy the content, feel free to share, drop a like, subscribe. And if you feel like somebody can definitely use this content to help them out, feel free to send over those initial videos we started off with on the channel, so they can kind of get a feel for what's going on here. But otherwise, yeah, any feedback is greatly appreciated. Just drop that in the comments and I'll overview it, or you can email me in the email in the description. But peace out, IFTF Mom. Thank you guys.